Hello. Greetings, my dearly beloved. Well, actually, I am a wee bit bewildered, and perhaps you are too. You see, in Scotland, we have a very, very important decision to make on September the 18th, when we are asked, do you think Scotland should be an independent country? Well, surely we are too wee, too poor, too stupid, and too dependent on England to go it alone. After all, does the rest of the UK not subsidise us up here in Scotland? Maybe we wouldn't survive without England. We're just not competent enough to make our own decisions. And besides, we have only just over 5 million population in Scotland, something the same size as Norway, and look how poor they are. Oh, and they have oil too, just like Scotland. You know, I've heard that Scotland is the only country in the world that discovered oil and became poorer. Now, I'm not trying to influence you. We all have to decide for ourselves, and I know there are people of all political opinions in each camp. One good thing, however, about the referendum is how it has actually brought people together, people who normally would oppose one another. We have George Galloway in full agreement with the Loyal Orange Lodge. It's brought Gordon Brown and Tony Blair hand in hand once again, and George Osborne dancing with his darling Alistair. A right pair of chancellors they are. And then, of course, there's Mrs. Thatcher. If she were still alive today, Mrs. Thatcher no doubt would be a no supporter. So perhaps we Scots should all vote no as a mark of gratitude to Mrs. Thatcher for all the good things she has done for the benefit of the Scottish people. Apart from the poll tax, for which Scotland was guinea pigs, she was such a kind, generous, considerate person, so concerned about the Scottish working man. You see, she didn't want them to be working in dirty industries. So she closed down the coal mines, she closed down the shipyards, she closed down the steelworks, and gave these unemployed Scots a lot more free time to enjoy the beauty and lovely countryside, to spend more leisure hours playing polo or golf, or hunting deer in the Highlands. During her tenure at Downing Street, the Scottish car industry in Bathgate and Linwood died, giving many more thousands the opportunity of increased leisure time while on the dole. Yes, Scotland has a lot to thank Maggie Thatcher for. And in the event of a no vote, we can rest assured that we will continue to be governed so effectively in Westminster for many years to come by a combination of Tory and UKIP, making all the important decisions of what's best for Scotland, which we are just incapable of deciding for ourselves. Another benefit, of course, in continuing to be governed from London is the peace of mind and security of our nuclear bombs in the Clyde. Bombs which are 40 times greater than those at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now, I also noticed on YouTube that there are some people beating the drum about leaving Scotland in the event of a yes vote. Well, we wouldn't really want to lose them, would we? And come to think of it, my dear wife Ephesia promised me that if it was a yes vote, she would leave Scotland and go to England. I wouldn't let her promise influence my decision. Oh no. I personally, my dear brethren, have pondered long and hard to come to a decision on the referendum. So last week, I prayed fervently to the Lord, asking him for a sign to guide me in which way to vote. Please, Lord, I said, give me a sign today. Well, lo and behold, that very morning I stepped outdoors and looking up at the sky, this is what I saw. I thought, is this a sign, Lord? Now, my dear wife Ephesia is not the world's best cook, so I often go out for lunch. And later that day, I went to my usual restaurant, and would you believe, the specials on the menu that day were two fish dishes, salmon and sturgeon. Oh, surely, I thought, that must be another sign from the Lord. But that's not all. Oh no. On leaving the restaurant, I looked heavenward to thank the Lord for showing me these signs, and this is what I saw. Well, that convinced me. But to be fair, if I were to go out tomorrow and see a red, white and blue Union flag featured in the clouds, then I would reconsider my decision. So, my dear brethren, may God guide you too to make the right decision. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, and I should mention, one of my parishioners pointed out to me that an anagram of the word referendum describes how things would be in Scotland if we vote no. Good night.